So what I think I'll do is I'm going to make a little video here about some of the misconceptions that a lot of people are taught about the Russians as a whole. Um, with any stereotype, there's always going to be some level of truth to it. These a lot of times stereotypes they come from maybe a bad situation. It could have been singular, or there's stereotypes in all races. So that being said, my experience so far, being here for a little less than 2 weeks, and everybody I meet, has been family, in-laws. So my perception is that of being with someone who is from the area and has loved ones here, and that treat me with a certain level of respect because of that. That being said, walking around, you see the family dynamic here. Even though the men to women ratio is extremely disproportionate ever since World War II, with being, I don't know the exact statistics, but there's a lot more women here than men. That being said, the the family dynamic here seems to be a lot stronger than you see in America. I've traveled all over the country working, and of course there's families everywhere, but you really, I pay more attention to it here because I don't get distracted with language and the minutia of overhearing people's conversations, or being distracted with being able to read a billboard or listen to a radio station. For me, I'm hyper aware because I still have those stereotypes in the back of my head. You've been taught your whole life about a people. You can't just click your fingers and cut that off. But as most of you know, I'm married to a lady that is originally from Russia. Anyway, I will say this: one of the biggest misconceptions, and I think that Americans could really benefit themselves if they would create the family dynamic that the Russian people have. Got a little doggy on the loose right here. I'm gonna pause this for a second. So you got kids out here playing with dogs, and it's a big community of people. You're gonna have your just like in every community, you're gonna have your low lives, you're gonna have your rich people, you're gonna have this and that. But I will say, as a whole, people here they have very traditional American values when it comes to the family dynamic, when it comes to church, when it comes to things like that. They're really, when we talk about the history of America, and we think about the good old days, and we think about the 50s, and we think about those values that we idolize, family dressing up nice to go out, father and mother and children together, maybe a little family animal, a little dog like this. When you really start thinking about the good old days in America, the ones a lot of us conservatives strive for, as far as the family dynamic, that seems to be more prevalent here in Russia than it does back home. Now, economically, it's a different story, of course. We're fortunate enough to be in an area where, it's pretty good. But, take the economy portion out of it. As far as family morals and family values go, this place has done nothing but impress me. Children are well behaved for the most part. I mean, I've seen one kid since being here that I got the vibe that he was like a punk, punking on the dad or whatever. Most of these kids are super well behaved. They're aware. They're smart. I met some of Yulia's family. A little 6-year-old girl can speak to some degree in multiple languages. Takes dance. Is more mature than kids I know back home that are years older than her. And it all goes back to that family dynamic of raising your children and instilling certain principles and values. And I would, by what I've seen, I would say that the family value, the dynamic here is stronger than what it is in modern day America. Um, you know, people, they love their families and they make it very evident of that. Anyway, I don't want to ramble, but this is just kind of a look around where we're at down here in this apartment complex here in Krasnodar, Russia. I'm going to get back inside before people start hearing me talking English and, raises too many suspicions because, technically, we've known people that have tried to get visas to Russia who visited here before that are Americans that are denied. I was lucky enough to get my multiple trip visa before coming here. So that being said, there's still heightened hostilities, that people have misconceptions with for Americans. So I'm going to, use a little common sense and get back in the house now, especially since Yulia's doctor's appointment with me, and my language being extremely hampered. That being said, guys, I hope this video was somewhat enjoyable. Anyway, I will catch you guys later.